Okay, today we're putting in the food plot. We've already disced the field. We limed it last year and our lime levels are still good. So today we're going to seed it. And we have about, I want to say 1/2 to 3/4 of an acre here. And I want to tell you what I'm planting here. That way I can look back on the film and remember what I'm planting here. I buy my seed mix at a local farm supply and they mix it themselves. And it's a lot cheaper that way. And so they have a variety of field mixes, annuals and perennials. And I typically buy from them because it's about 1/3 less if you buy it mixed. So this particular mix here, this is 49% wheat, 29% bob oats, 9.8% Australian winter peas, and 9.8% iron and clay cowpeas. And then 1% crop seed, and the other 1% is inert ingredient. This is just a basic mixture of wheat, oats, and peas. And I think I paid $20 for this 40-pound sack. If I were to go buy Imperial Clover brand or some other particular brand of food plot mix, substantially higher. Add to that, I bought 5 pounds of Australian winter peas. And that way I want more peas in there than this mix, so I'm going to overseed with 5 pounds of this. This is also farm mix. Here, I'll give you a good look at it. I buy this at Farm Supply as well. 40% purple top turnips, 24% premier kale, 16% common rape, 16% China rose radish, and 4% royal crown hybrid turnip. So this is going to be something that's going to grow and not get eaten until frost. Deer typically don't eat turnip greens until frost, and after frost the greens turn sweet. They'll also eat turnips, the actual turnip bulb itself. So by planting this along with these, they'll start eating the peas and the wheats and the oats just as soon as they come up. They'll overgo the radish greens and the turnip greens, or they won't feed on them as heavy until frost. So if they're hitting your food plot hard, this right here will hang in there till you get a frost. And here in Arkansas, it's usually end of October before we get a frost. Today is September the 13th, so we should have 6 weeks of growing season before we get a frost. Anyways, got the soil bed prepared. The lime's okay. I'll fertilize after everything comes up. Let's get to work. Okay, let me say a little bit about food plot logic. My food plot stops about 40 yards from my box stand. I don't bow hunt out of it. I only gun hunt and muzzleloader hunt. I don't want deer right under my box stand. Drop something on the floor, they all spook. I want them 40 to 50 yards away. So I start my food plot here where I'm standing. So my food plot starts here. And it runs to the far end, which is, let's see, you can see that little bit of green at the end of the plowed. From the stand, that's 160 yards. I don't want my food plot 300 yards away where I have a large margin of error. I want it to be in an easy killing distance for a modern deer rifle. And anybody's rifle ought to be able to hit a deer accurately and effectively at 150, 160 yards. That's the end of my food plot. Now I can see in this field to the far corner, which is way down there, it's 404 yards. I don't want to shoot at a deer 404 yards away. Not because I don't think I can hit it. That's just, I want to get him closer. So I have the food plot on my half of the field, and I stop it about 40 yards from my stand. That way, if the deer come out and feed and stay here, they're far enough away that they're not going to hear me if I bump the stand with my rifle. And I'm not going to have to watch their eyes when I put the barrel out the window. So, little logic goes a long ways. Now, as you look at the food plot, it's kind of a long, skinny triangle. It's narrow to a point by the stand, and it widens out as it goes away from me, kind of like a slice of pie. So what I did from the 20 yards from the tree line this way is all seeded in the wheat, oats, and 2 kinds of peas. They really love the Australian winter peas. For me, they would eat them over anything else. So I'm going to put my extra 5 pounds of seed right here in the middle of the field on the north edge of the food plot. That way, if that's where the deer are going to focus, I want them in the middle of the field. So a buck has to walk out of the tree line to check them. If you have them standing right on the edge of the tree line eating peas, then a buck, you may not ever get a good clean shot at him. He may just run out, chase the does off, and you never see him again. So your most palatable food source, your most prized food source, if you're going to split it up, or you're going to overseed one area, put it in the middle of the food plot. That way the deer have to come well out into the open for you to get a shot at them. Not saying you couldn't shoot them with just their neck sticking out of the trees, but hey, if we're going to do this, let's do it in our favor. See that? That's poison ivy. I don't get that like I used to, but I still don't like messing with it, so. Poison ivy remover, $13.95 Walmart.